Hey y'all, it's me, Kris, and I want to talk about queer and trans books that I've read and what books have you read and have a conversation about that. But first, let's queer this up a little bit. Now this is better. Hi y'all, I just want to talk about books and I love books and wait, hold on. Books and brews. Two of my favorite bee things. Along with bears, babies, babbling brooks, bouncing baby buggy bunnies. Does that make sense? And so with me, like, discovering my gender shit and then, like, dealing with, like, my sexuality and, like, more like it's okay to not be binary and sexuality and, like, you know. No. So my reading kind of has reflected that. So in no particular order, these have been the queer and trans books that I've read and my thoughts on them. Let's get started.
Oh yeah.
This book is Gay by James Dawson. So this is a 101 book. It has to do with the terminology. It's a cute book for like the introduction of like, oh, advice and terms and all that stuff. Yeah, not probably the best book out there, but it's super cute. I really like the cover. Tessa Masterson Will Go to Prom by Emily Franklin and Brendan Halpin. This book is a super cute lesbian book. They're in high school and she really wants to ask this girl out to prom, and with social implications she's nervous, and yeah, so you get to see the story of like high school dynamics and drama and stuff, so it was super cute. I read this when I was 25. If anything, for me reading this, I kind of felt like a longing of like I missed out on something because I never went to prom. But yeah, it was a cute read still. Binge by Tyler Oakley. Tyler Oakley, YouTuber. If you haven't heard of him, links down in the below to his YouTube channel, but honestly, if you're watching me, you probably heard of him. This book is really good. It tells a lot of stories of like stuff that he's never talked about on YouTube, and it's really nice to see his side on stuff, to see it in words. You also get to see like pictures and basically his memoir, his life up until now, dealing with YouTube and being gay and discovering that stuff. So yeah, Seriously I'm Kidding by Ellen DeGeneres. Another memoir. It talks about CoverGirl and American Idol and her like kind of being more comfortable with herself. It's funny, it's cute, it's Ellen. Fun Home and Are You My Mother by Alison Bechdel. I have a huge crush on Alison Bechdel. I've already reviewed these books. Link down below. They are really good. She's really smart, like way smarter than I will ever become, ever. The books are really good. It talks about her early college years and then dealing with her family and parents, and then it's just gorgeous. And the art is like super simple and like super amazing, and yeah, kind of my style of like not too much, but definitely brings a point across, and yeah. The Pink Triangle by Richard Plant. So some of y'all may not know this about me, but I was in 9th grade. I had a weird obsession with the Holocaust. How people could do that. Why would someone do that? Like the travesties around it. And when I learned that gay people were part of the Nazi concentration camps, I was floored. Didn't know that. My history classes didn't talk about it, and I read this about 3 years ago, and yeah, it struck me really hard. So this is accounts on how it fucking sucked. Yeah, just really sad book, but really interesting, and it's important to know our history.
Nice to kill the mood, Kris.
Drama by Raina Telgemeier. I'm butchering that, and I'm so sorry. This is an amazing book. This was the 2016 most challenged book. I really don't know why. It's a super cute middle school grade graphic novel. It was in the kids section of the Barnes & Noble when I went, and it's super cute. It was just about a girl and dealing with going to the 8th grade dance and drama in a drama class, everything that has to do with middle school, gay characters, and that's the only reason why I could see it. But I was challenged, which I don't understand. These are images. Super cute. Super amazing. Warrior Poet, a biography of Andre Lorde by Alexis Devue. I might be butchering that name, I'm so sorry. So as I started to going to more gay events, conferences and stuff like that, Andre Lorde was always brought up, and I always was wondering, who the heck is this person, because she kept coming up and was a prominent figure, and I didn't know my LGBT history. I'm still working on it. So I did my research, and golly, is she amazing. This book is a really good story about her. It truly shows how amazing Andre Lorde is and why she's always brought up at basically every gay event, because she's an incredible woman of color who happens to be lesbian, who has to deal with all this diversity in New York, and family, and it's super, super amazing, and I highly recommend this book. And her works, her works are amazing as well. So a book that I don't have that I borrowed from a friend that I'm letting another friend borrow because it's just that good and I love it is Finding Masculinity, Female to Male Transition in Adulthood by Alexander Walker. I love this book. It is so great. This book is amazing because I really liked it because it was 6 to 8 FTMs and they talked about their experiences through 3 different categories: doing health and procedures, love and relationships, and then how they discovered who they were. And I really liked it because it was the accounts of older people when they were doing later in life transitions. It really hit a nerve with me because although I really love seeing like younger kids, middle school, high school, discover themselves so awesome, it's amazing. It was really nice to hear about stories that like people in their 30s just discovering who they were and connecting the dots and seeing that I'm not alone when it comes to later in life transitions of like, you know, who you are. I mean, there's even like a man who has been married for 10 years before he started transitioning with kids. There was one who his relationship kind of went south because of it. I mean, there's all these different accounts of like amazingness transition stories that like it truly shows that there's no one way to transition and everyone's unique and has their own story, and I really, really liked it. I highly recommend it. Kevin Keller by Dan Parent. Kevin Keller is part of the Archie series gang, the comics, and he's one of the gay characters, and he has his own little comic book series. He's super cute, and it tells his little stories, and really it's nice to have like a character in a comic series that's like, I'm gay, and no one makes a huge deal about it, and it's cute and amazing, and yeah. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and these were the audiobooks that I listened to. Buffering, Unshared Tales of Life Fully Loaded by Hannah Hart. I really like Hannah Hart. I think she's an incredible person. I think we'd be like best friends or whatever. Hannah Hart, if you're watching this, hi. I'm embarrassed, but her book was incredible, and her reading it was incredible, and her life is insane. It was an incredible story. I cried. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Science. I'm so sorry I butchered that. I'm fucking this up. I'm so sorry, sir. You are an amazing writer, and I'm so sorry I can't pronounce your name right, but holy crap, what a book. It's about 2 boys living in 1990s Texas, their friendship and discovering their identities, and yeah, just really good. Reading the book, I was like, wait, what? Yeah, don't want to spoil it, but you'll discover, and really good, really fucking good.
I'm a terrible reviewer. All I said is it's really good.
Darling Days, a memoir by Io Tillett-Wright. Holy crap, this book is freaking phenomenal, okay? So he is a genderqueer individual, and this is like a memoir of their life from childhood to about like mid-20s. It's insane, and it talks about how they were dealing with like gender and like kind of like doing their own thing, and how their parents let them, even though their parents were kind of rough parents, and talked about that and how gender fluid. But I just loved how there's a legit genderqueer person had a book, and it was so beautiful to listen to, and it was I listened to it in literally like one day. It was gorgeous. Highly recommend it, and it was nice to have some representation outside of like YouTube and stuff. So yeah, Girl Man's Up by Emmy Gerard. It's a fiction book, but reading this book you're not really sure exactly how the main character identifies. Very masculine lesbian, but you're not sure gender wise or whatever, but it's kind of doesn't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's a super cute story. They're in high school. It talks about them having a crush on a girl and doing their thing, and how the brother is like super cool with it, like super nice, and how parents like are pushing their agenda on her when she just like kind of just wants to be her thing and do her own thing. And it definitely, when listening to it, it reminded me of a lot of stories that I've heard from friends and people I've dated, and just it was incredible. And I think young people should read this book because they could definitely relate to it, I'm sure. I'm Just a Person by Tig Notaro. What a life she's had. Oh my gosh. Like, if you know anything about Tig, it's basically her story of dealing from one travesty to another. It's insane, and dealing with like relationships during it. Super quick listen, but holy crap is it good. You want to like give her a hug. And I like her story because it's definitely not a woe is me story either. It's super good, and her voice is sensual. A Queer and Pleasant Danger. The true story of a nice Jewish boy who joins the Church of Scientology and leaves 12 years later to become the lovely lady she is today. By Kate Bornstein. This is another person that has had quite a life. And holy crap, has she. She's gone through so much life and lived that I probably will never have in 5 lifetimes. She's been a slave. She's been one of the higher officers in the Church of Scientology, discovered herself, and still is, and oh my gosh, she is incredible. This book, I was listening to it, and I was like, it was mind-boggling, and also, it kind of showed me how, like, your best years are definitely not your early 20s, and, you know, your later years are pretty much your best years, and yeah, I like how she discovered herself and she felt more comfortable with herself as her later years, and now she's kicking ass and taking names, and she's an amazing genderqueer person, and oh my gosh, her life is just, yeah, just listening to it, I'm just like, holy crap. Wow. So, audiobook that I'm still listening to, and I'm on the tail end of it, is Eddie Izzard's Believe Me, a memoir of love, death, and jazz chickens, and it is incredible. I love Eddie Izzard, and I remember watching him when I was about like 16, and his stand-up of like him like in a dress and saying banana, and it was incredible, and then like ever since I've loved him, and it's really nice because he's an older individual, so like hearing like terms and terminology when it comes to addressing people, and how he used to identify as transsexual, but now he identifies transgender, and how transsexual now is kind of like a rude term to some people, to most people in the community, and to hear his stories. And oh my god, like if you read this book, I highly recommend the audiobook and just to listen to it, because he goes on tangents where he'll say like this is not in the book, and he'll go on rants, and sometimes it's like it's really cute and funny, but at the same time it's like, oh my gosh, you're a squirrel, but at the same time like it's definitely, it adds to it, and yeah, he's incredible, amazing, and go Eddie Izzard. So those are all the LGBTQ plus books I've read so far. I have many more that I want to read. If you have any recommendations, please comment below and let me know, and I will do my best to read them. Also, if you've read some of these books, please let me know what you thought of some of them. If you're like, oh, well, you totally missed the point, you're in a dumbass, or oh, I didn't really like that, it wasn't a really good representation, or I totally agree with you, I liked it. Stuff like that. Also, if you see any of the books that I had a physical copy of, please comment or message me, and maybe we could exchange like addresses, and so I could send it to you, just because I used to collect books, but now I'm kind of on this kick where it's like, I want books to be in people's minds and read, rather than just sitting pretty on a shelf and collecting dust. Also, any video topics, ideas, suggestions, let me know. Comment below, message me whenever you feel comfortable with it. Thank you for watching this video. I really, really appreciate you, and then also, thank you for the 27 subscribers out there. I really, really appreciate you. Please reach out to me. Have a conversation, and yeah, bye, thank you.
I told you I was a quarterback. You said, how about that? It was a lie.